Hello, welcome back, guys. We got Hong and our Starboy Chase. We got Han on Green Tron and Chase on Merfolk. Talk to us, Rob.
So let's see. Honestly, coming into this position, Fish has like 8 main board ways of getting rid of Tron. It might be a little bit more favorable on Chase's end. Han is a good Tron player though, so you never really know what can happen right here. Tron's known for getting real big, real fast. It literally goes 1-2-7, so it's a quick boy. If Chase doesn't have interaction, it might not be too hot for him. But luckily, his deck is interaction.deck. So so let's see. I know with Chase, he's on like 4 Force Negations main board. So he's got a lot of pretty hot stuff going, especially against Han's Tron list. Han seems to be on pretty much standard green Tron. He's running 4 basic forests in the main, 2 Beseiju for his green pips, and then 4 Urza's Bind, Power Plant, and Tower to go real fast, real quick. Let's see. So it looks like Han's got 2 of the Tron pieces, no map, but a Chrome Star, which is a good start for him, I will admit.
So let's talk about the interaction with some of these spheres and stars. Sphere is a mana ability which is going to come up pretty often because you cannot respond to Bowmaster, or cannot respond for Bowmaster. Part of Spear Sacking is a mana ability, which means it doesn't actually lose priority, and then you draw a card as part of resolution.
Which is great. Drawing cards is good.
Well, it avoids Bowmaster triggers.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot in this matchup. Han's going to lead heavily into just trying to do the thing with Tron. While you got Chase over here on Fish, I mean, you're trying to make some of Han's creatures lose their abilities. You're trying to
tempo out mostly.
Tempo out.
I feel like you're just getting Lord after Lord after Lord of getting big boys. And then luckily a lot of these newer Lords are pretty interactive.
You also have mainboard answers for Tron pieces like Tide Shape Caller or Tide Shaper Kicked, which turns Han's Tron piece into an island. Also gives his stuff Island Walk. But you also got this Voldarian Hexcatcher, which force spikes a lot of Han's big stuff. You flash in a Hexcatcher, you force spike a Karn, you force spike a Ugin. It's pretty hard to deal with. That looks like Tron.
That is Tron.
I think I puked. Here comes Karn.
Let's see what Chase goes with.
Unfortunately, that Hexcatcher for that Karn is not going to do a whole lot because Han has 3 mana remaining. What Tron does, 1-2-7.
1-2-7.
Looks like it resolved, and Han is trying to determine what he wants out of his sideboard. I don't hate a Wormcoil for a second Wormcoil in hand. Oh, he's just going to go straight for Chalice.
Chalice on 1?
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, Chalice on 1.
So cast a Chromatic Star, then Chalice on 1. Chase might flash in the Hexcatcher to counter the Chalice. On the flip side, though, that does shut Han off of Stirring, Star, and Sphere.
Yeah, honestly, Chase's hand's full of 2-drops, so it's not like he's getting... Oh, there's the Vial. That doesn't feel as good.
That feels bad.
Let's see what he can rock with right now.
I also don't hate that he drew a Mutavault here. It's going to put this situation in a little different spot for the Karn. Chase has a Lord in hand, which I think he does. He might just play the Lord to make the Hexcatcher a 2-2, and then swing at Karn, putting it to 1, which means Han cannot downtick that Karn. It looks like we're just going to swing for 1. I wonder what Chase is thinking here.
Let's see. He still does have 3 mana up.
Han's also getting hit by his own Chalice here because he has a Relic in hand, so he's not going to get to draw an extra card that he may need.
And he is sitting on 3 lands in hand and a Ring. Ring's really good, though. So, no complaints on that end. Win Nugan. Whew. Han's got a lot of gas in his hand right now.
Yeah, that Ugin is not something anybody on the other side of the table ever wants to see. We might just see, is this the Worm Coil? That is the Worm Coil. Worm Coil's pretty good. What do we uptick on? No target? Yeah, it looks like no target. I don't hate flashing in Trickster here and tapping down the Worm Coil so that we can kill Karn. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to deal with that Worm Coil when Karn's gone. So it does look like it's what he's about to do. So he is gonna tap down the Worm Coil. This is pretty good tempo for next turn. I think we're still trying. Yep. So it's Trickster does resolve. Worm Coil is tapped. So that might be a dead Karn. Which is great for Chase because he needs Karn off that board now.
He can't.
We did draw another land. So we could essentially.
Lord is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that or we could save Auto War for Worm Coil when Han swings. To Auto War it back to his hand. I kind of like that. So I like swinging right here and killing Karn with the Trickster and then dealing one to the face with the Hex Catcher. Or is he's going to play another Lord. He's just going to go straight for the Lord. Oh, we're activating Mutable. We're just going straight in. Tons of damage.
Yeah, let's go to face.
No,
So-
you gotta get rid of Karn. Can't
Yeah.
Karn's
But
gotta
I'm
go.
saying, like, he's still getting at least some sort of
Is
damage.
he leaving?
He might be leaving one up on Karn. I'm not sure.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. So it looks
Getting
like
rid of Karn completely is way better
it
than
looks
leaving
like
it on.
Karn's dead, and he's going to deal 4 to face.
4 to face, yeah. He does have to worry about the crackback with the Worm
Yep.
Coil, which is gonna hurt, and he's gonna get.
So I
Just
kind
a
of
knife
liked
swing.
the Auto Aura for that because it would force Han to essentially have to retap mana, recast Worm Coil.
It is true.
Worm Coil is pretty brutal in this matchup.
It is. It's just a bigger creature than Chase can really.
Yeah. Oh, there's the ring. The ring, they say, the ring. What does Chase have for the ring?
He's got an Otawara.
I don't know if Auto Aura.
I don't really think it's that
Yeah.
good.
No, you don't want to trigger protection again.
Yeah.
I think just the reactionary. Maybe how much mana did Han?
He's got
Han's got tons of mana. He
Yeah,
couldn't sack.
he's another mutable. Still has the old Otawara, which is good. He's got a. Unfortunately, Aether Vial's a dead card in his hand right now.
You know, even countering that Chalice and slamming that Aether Vial, because Han had the Worm Coil so fast, I actually don't think it mattered. That's another 1-drop to sit under
It's another
Chalice.
dead
with.
card.
Yeah. Is that another tower he just drew? It is
Yeah,
another
it's
tower.
another tower.
That's kind of bad. That's a lot of mana.
It is.
What do we lose if we Ugin for
He just drew another
here?
Ancient Stirrings, which is also a dead card.
He's so far ahead that I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
But this tower is really brutal because this allows him to.
Hard cast like anything in his deck.
Well, he's gonna go tower, one of the 2-drop or one of the 2 manas to cast Ugin. That
Yeah.
leaves 4 mana open, and he can only Hex Catch it for 3.
Yeah.
The only thing that's
true.
gonna get around that is if Chase had Force Negation, which I think Han is trying to play around. Actually, no, that's not true. Chase can animate the Mutavaults, but that's still kind of bad because you lose your whole board doing that. You're gonna lose your board either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not liking this position.
It is a tough spot.
I mean, having Tron right off the bat without having to do much for it is just too good. And he had the ring. I think sideboard for Karn we'll see, or not for Karn, for Han on Tron we'll see Haywire might come in. Haywire might's gonna come in and attempt to fix the stuff with the Aether Vial plays. What does Chase have for sideboard here besides?
So going into the sideboard, I mean, he's got Chalice, Dismember, Hercules, Recall, Kira. Steel Sabotage, Stern Scolding, and Subtlety. I mean, it's kind of just his mainboard stuff that's gonna be pretty solid.
I really like to bring in the Hercules Recall and the
Yeah,
subtleties. I
the
think the
Hercules
subtlety
Recall
will.
sweet.
I think the subtlety would make a huge difference. Subtlety would have been really big there on that Karn, and then he would have just slammed so much damage to
Yeah.
face.
Because Subtlety is creature and planeswalker, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a Manamo. That's pretty hot. So how much damage we got on board here? We got 3. No, wait. I'm sorry. 4, 7, 11, 14. That's a lot of damage with another Mutavault.
That is a lot.
So there's 4, 8, 10, 4. Is that 18? Looks like, is it 16?
Let's see. So we got
That life total doesn't look correct, Steven. These are
That
4/4.
been
These are 4/4s.
8.
So 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, he should be at what, 2?
No, 3.
Was he at 18?
He was at 19. Should be at 3.
He should be at 3.
So, because these are both lords, right? So there's
Yep.
4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it's 15. So we'd be at 4.
Those Mutavaults are hitting like trucks right now.
Yeah. Pretty big hits there.
The game really isn't out of commission as of right now. If he does get this Ugin down, it doesn't look very good.
No, it doesn't.
Let's see. Does Chase have any counters in his hand right now? He's got a Trickster. That's a good card.
That's a huge play too, because
Now he's not gonna get that life swing.
Well, yes, but now he has another target for pitching for Hexcatcher's effect.
Yes.
Chase allowed it. So
yeah. He
he
doesn't have enough mana for it.
Well,
anyways.
he's not in a horrible spot if he has a Lord in his hand, because he comes to turn, activate Mutavault, slam a Lord, and that should be game. Okay, Karn's kind of bad. He only has 2 mana. What's he getting? I guess he can get Coding. Coding would stop the activation of one of the Mutavaults. That might be game. Oh, that's brutal. Chase had game otherwise.
Yeah. Without that Karn and Ugin in your hand, like, as crazy as it sounds, getting board wiped right there didn't actually put him out of contention. He does have a Lord in his hand as well.
I'm assuming a Coding and Mutavault. We'll see an upkeep. He did preemptively do it, so we'll see what happens.
He did do a Mutavault. Yeah, he did target the Mutavault. So if he goes, did he already draw for turn? Let's see. Lord Dismember doesn't do it.
So let's take a look at Han having the ring, right? I'm still playing this Lord. I'm activating one of the Mutavaults and swinging. It's gonna put Han to 2, and then he dies to the ring in his upkeep.
Yeah. Chase has still technically got it.
Yeah, I like this position.
It's just the ring is new, and we're not sure if it's seen that he will be taking that 3 damage. He should still swing, because he can get him to technically lethal.
Yeah, he can get him to lethal without the Lord in his hand, because Mutavault deals 2 damage, and Han's got the ring on 3.
Let's see if Chase sees it. If he goes Lord swing with Mutavault, dies to the ring.
Yeah, I mean, he's dead without the Lord, too.
Yeah.
He activates the second
that's
Mutavault,
true.
yeah. I think the Trickster play from Chase was pretty huge. Tapping on that Wormcoil to prevent combat damage for lifelink.
So he does activate the Mutavault.
So we do see the Mutavault activation. That's huge.
As long as he swings for face. We like it.
Ah.
Boom. Han scoops it up. And Chase takes game 1.
That was a tight.
That was a tight game right there.
All I'm saying is both those tricksters were sweet.
Yeah, that's crazy. That card has flash, taps down the creature, and it loses all abilities. Like, it is just... There's just so much that 2-drop does. It's a 2-drop.
It's got to be his good looks to have that kind of look.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Come on.
Look at him. Like, he is just an absolute stunner.
For Han, the Haywire Mites are coming in. These Haywire Mites are going to be some of the main things that he has to deal with the Aether Vial stuff. Besides, obviously, Karn, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, and Han having, like, a Karn board is pretty solid. Like, Han basically has his whole sideboard in his main deck because of the fact that he makes so much mana so quickly that if he goes... like tower, power plant, mine. He's got 7 mana turn 3. He could just go Karn into any card in his sideboard and he can play it. There's a reason that Tron's been around for so long and how it's still so consistent. The ring being a card just makes it infinitely better. Like, it is such a strong card, and it being colorless. Him being able to go turn 3, make 7 mana, play a ring, and hold up anything. It's super, super solid. Going into this next round, I am pretty excited to see how it goes. Chase is actually looking pretty good going into game 2 as well after round 1. Now let's see what their opening hands go to. Yeah, if I'm being honest, Chase doesn't always get to play as often as he wishes, but him coming into a 1K, I don't want to say unprepared, because that's just a little discouraging, but no, like,
shout out to me, because I came in here Wednesday, and he's like, should I play the 1K? And I was like, yeah, and he's like, what should I play? I was like, play Fish. So we set in, I picked up the rental deck here at Rockets for Boros Burn, and we ran through a few sets. And I was like, send it. You got this.
Yeah. To be honest, that Chalice absolutely, I think, did way more damage to Han than it did to Chase. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad play by Han. Shutting off all of his, like, main deck Tide Shapers and Aether Vials, that's pretty strong. But Han missing out on all those draws from, like...
Oh, Han got wrecked by Merfolk Trickster. Trickster doing what the card says.
Yeah, Trickster doing a lot.
Tricking.
Now let's see. Han's opener is 2 lands and a map. That's pretty good. And he puts one away. Chase is keeping his 7, I think. I don't think they both mold.
So he draws a god. Merfolk god.
It's a good card.
We get a Mutavault and an Aether Vial.
We are getting a Vial.
Best fish start ever.
Yeah. This is super strong Tron start, super strong Fish start. This is what we like to see.
Right, upkeep Vial on 1. Draw.
Let's see.
Another god.
It's a good card.
Yo, is that a force negation?
It is a force negation.
It is a
force negation. I'm sure Chase really wanted to see that game 1, but hey, card's just as good in game 2.
Silver Depth.
Let's see.
Revealing the god.
One of the.
This.
Is it Sylvan or is it Sylvelin? How do you pronounce that? I've always
Silver Gill.
It's
the
god, the god.
I think it's Sylvelin.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a weird spelling name.
Yo, she's a god. That's all that matters. Goated. Looks like we completed Tron with that expedition map. As expected.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, Gio, I don't really know who to vote for either. I love both of them. Han's a local, but Chase is also one of my boys.
My boss.
And my boss. But but no, I've known Chase for a long time.
Oh, there's the ring. Let's see if he fires off that force negation.
Let's see. Does he want to save that force for a big boy later, or does he want to get rid of that proc?
So I like that he played this. Oh, he also played an O-Stone. That's a lot.
God, Han going turn 3 Tron is just so good.
Yeah, we're gonna cast Force, and we're pitching extra god. Yeah,
you gotta get rid of
Can't let him have protection since he's about to wipe my board with O-Stone. Actually, yeah.
I think it's totally the right play to get rid of that ring. That ring is just so
Ooh,
good.
Miststalker.
What does it hit in again? It's a Tron matchup. I
I
mean, it's
don't.
still a 1 mana 1. Like, it's
It's
so
well, in a matchup where you're swinging face a lot with lords, that one becomes 3 real quick.
yeah. And now he's got the Silver Go and the Lord out.
So Mistcaller. And another ring. Jeez.
I want to say miscallers if they don't spend anything to cast it.
If a non-token creature would enter and it wasn't cast.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't think that's actually doing much here. Ooh,
This is
Hexcatcher's
just
pretty
Case
sweet.
is coming in with a lot of damage.
Yeah, we're gonna see the pop of the O-Stone though. That's kind of unfortunate.
Luckily, he'll still get to keep his Savalan. What's that third card in his hand?
Trickster.
So I think the right move is just to keep what he has on board, let it pop. Because he can do, yeah,
Well,
he can play.
Wait a second. Does that get rid of the Savalan?
I think Sylvain should have Indestructible.
What does the Oblivion Stone read?
It says Destroy.
Do we need a judge call, Steven? Yeah,
I think we need
Steven, we need a judge call. Pause the game. Pause the game.
Yeah, we're going to get a judge call on this just because Sylvain should have had Indestructible at that point. And Chase did have 3 Merfolk in total. So I'm not sure how it would get rewound. This is an iffy play. I mean, both of them technically let that resolve. So I wouldn't say it's on anyone in particular. Yeah, regardless, Chase will be losing his Lord and the Silver Gill, but he is supposed to have that Sylvain. So yeah, we'll see how this is all going to end up resolving. It is a weird spot for both. I don't think it was malicious at any point.
I don't think it was either. We just have to. That's something that isn't just a missed trigger. It's on the card.
Yeah, you gotta. It can't go to the graveyard. That is, it going to a graveyard is technically an advantage, and then it being destroyed is an advantage against Han. So or I shouldn't say against Han, for Han.
I think we're gonna have to. Since he did cast, I think we. Is it gonna be legend rolled?
I think it's gonna get legend rolled. Is basically how it's gonna get resolved.
Okay, that's unfortunate for Chase. I mean, that is part of the game.
And then that Ugin coming down. Is he gonna minus? He did minus.
Yeah.
Got rid of it. Now let's see. Does he have enough to really refill?
Sadly, I don't think he does. That O-Stone was just so
Yeah,
good.
that O-Stone's gross. It's a gross stone. Let's see. Chase with the fancy Zendikar bucket lands.
So we're gonna activate that Mutavault. It looks like we're gonna force the block with the Haywire Might. Oh, is he gonna Trickster and send Ugin to 1? No, maybe. Ugin just takes the hit.
Yeah, I also feel a game 3 coming. I think having an Ugin already on board is pretty good. With nothing to compete with, it's
yeah, that Ugin was very crippling, as was the Oblivion Stone. You can't really deal with the Oblivion Stone.
Especially, yeah.
Maybe Chase should have fired off the Force Negation on the Oblivion Stone, but then he also gets hit by the ring with protection and to Ugin, so it's not much different.
I think it's a tough spot
Yeah.
to call on Oblivion Stone. Now let's see where it goes. Yeah, now it's kind of Han's in full sprint.
There goes the Mutavault.
There's not much Chase can do in this situation. We'll probably give it 2 more turns before we see Chase kind of
Scoop it
roll
up.
over and play dead.
Scoop it up.
Now, let's see. Trickster comes out, targeting the Might. Just paying 1 more for the Mist Caller? Question mark? He has 3 tap mana. Did he activate the Mutable before it got gut?
It got exiled by Karn.
I know. Let's see. Cavern not doing too much for him in this situation. Let's see. Yeah, Ring on board, Ugin on board, Karn on board. There's not much.
Yeah, that's a tough choice.
Chase
Either
is looking at.
Liberated or Ugin, because neither of them are dying.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe he's gonna overload a Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No,
but
I don't either.
let's see. I think Chase kind of sees
Yeah, the light.
the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I think this is anyone's game at this point. Like, Chase competing very well against Han in that first round,
Let's be
even
honest.
with Natty Tron.
Let's be honest. Chase is on the play, and that's pretty scary for Fish.
It is. Fish is explosive.
Yeah, turn 1 Vial is
Yeah.
with Mutable, and then
Fish is explosive.
yeah, it's really rough.
Stirring's using the green mana.
That is a
Let's
warping
see.
whale.
That's another ring. For
and
him.
another Tron or Karn. This time
Honestly, I
Creator,
think
yeah. You take Karn.
You take Karn.
that's a lot of mana.
So you can go play Karn, go get
Yeah, he's still
your
got 10
biggest
mana.
thing.
He's got a mine, a power plant untapped, and 2 towers. It's 10 mana.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Looks like we're
Gonna see the Karn.
So he had a mana floating from the Stirrings. Oh, did we plus on the ring? We did plus on the ring. Wow.
Oh, that's spicy.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Haven't seen that happen.
I don't know if Chase is completely out of this if Han doesn't get a Wormcoil here because okay, well that doesn't help.
Yeah, that
doesn't help.
Yeah.
But Han has, ring damage coming and he needs to get rid of Trickster.
If Chase just plays this game out,
If he plays a Lord, this game could be
I
over.
think it might. I was thinking he should have grabbed the ring because resetting the ring, he doesn't take 3 damage every single turn.
Correct, and he's also not taking damage from Trickster.
Yeah, and
So what do we
Han
tap in
can't
mana
kill him in 3 turns.
For are we just we're exiling the ring
No way, he's exiling the ring.
to gain 2 life. That's pretty sweet.
That is spice. I like that. That is a high tier play. I think that is V smart. Now let's see. So it does unfortunately slow Chase's clock down. It also takes away Han's draw
no,
engine.
that ends the game.
It's not looking too.
Yeah,
hot now.
this game is effectively over with the ring off the board. I did not recognize that play. It's a really good play.
Another Trickster. Chase should be swinging in for 4. Yeah, it's just he's gonna take up with Ugin, kill one of them.
Shout out to Chase for not scooping before he's actually dead.
Yeah, you never.
There's
you
a lot of-
never know, man. You gotta play to your out.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that preemptively scoop. He is not doing that. That's good. We also thought he was dead game 1 and he had
Yeah.
a burst of damage.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Explosive. Fish is explosive. There's Wormcoil Engine.
Yeah, Wormcoil's
Yeah, he's picking it up. Okay. So now going into game 3, I don't think he's changing anything out of his sideboard.
I don't
kind
think
of
he
already
is
saw
either.
everything that he wants to see. Chase is just a silly little guy. And hopefully we see something crazy come out into the game 3.
He likes to play with fish, man. Fish
He
is
is a
fish.
fish man. He is a fish man. You should see his fish tank. It's incredible.
You know, I seen a post of him getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me sad.
Yeah. It was so cool. He still has another fish tank though out in the front of his house, but his fish tank's cool. He's got some big old fish in it. I also remember the first time that Chase preemptively scooped. Feels like yesterday.
All I'm saying is I like how he didn't scoop there. He wanted to see it all played out to make sure he was exactly dead, and I give props to Chase for doing that. Because there are a lot of players that don't do that, and they could have drawn an out. And instead of giving it the chance until they're actually dead, they just give up the game. I think for like casual play or like basic weeklies, the behavior is not the worst because you're kind of for the weeklies you're here to mostly test. So it's not the end of the world to do it, but when you're at something like a 1K plus, preemptively scooping is just not in your benefit. The only time you preemptively scoop if you know you're going to go to time, and these matchups are so fast between these two, where either Chase does the thing fast enough or Han does the thing to stop him, that I doubt they go to time.
Now let's see. Chase being on the play is such a
It's so
lead
huge.
advantage.
It's so huge.
Especially if he's going to have that one drop turn one where, I mean, he goes Mutavolt Vial. Whew. It's honestly not looking super good for Han. It's so fast. Fish is so fast. It's reactive. And one thing to talk about, Chase is also on the fish list that doesn't run ring. There are a lot of fish lists out there that have been running a lot of the newer rings. And I personally feel like it's not necessarily a misplay. I think it's kind of cool. Just tried and true classic fish. He's going Cavern, probably naming Merfolk, leading off with a Vial. Chase is really hoping for an island off the top right here. That's going to be super helpful for him, especially becoming more explosive. But he does have a Tide Shaper in his hand, which is so good against Tron. It is so good against Tron. Shutting off one of the, I mean, most likely the tower that he played. Shutting off a tower is just, it's going to slow down Han immensely, keep Chase's tempo out, and we see a subtlety. I know Chase probably really wanted to see a land right there, but I think it's still fine that he didn't necessarily get it. Yeah, not seeing that second land is not fun. Yeah, I think playing that Tide Shaper out, forcing damage, might not have been the play for turn 2. I think you gotta for sure, you gotta hold that up to get rid of that tower. Luckily Han didn't necessarily reveal that he didn't have the second Tron piece, but Chase is pressuring with some damage, so we gotta take what we can get. Now let's see. Chase is also still holding up that Vial, so he can flash a Trickster, he can flash another Lord. If he brings in another Lord, that's a lot of damage that Han's going to be facing. That's what? 3, it's 9 damage that he'd be coming in with. Here's another star. Han really wants that last Tron piece. Got an Ugin in hand. Silvergill. Okay, Silvergill's cool. It being a 2-1 that lets him draw is pretty sweet. Now let's see if he goes straight into Lord swing for what? Lethal? No, it's a lot of damage, but I don't know if it's lethal. Let's see. So that's 9. 12 damage is what he could be if he flashes in that other Lord. Chase is in pretty good position. Not drawing that second land off that second turn was a little rough, but seeing it going into the third was what he wanted to see.
We also seen Han play the Beseiju, and that's not great for him. It looks like Chase also has the Subtlety plus Pitch card, which is screaming in this matchup. Han's gonna untap, play Tron, have 8 mana, attempt to cast this. Is that 8 mana or more? No, it's 8.
It's 8, yeah.
He's gonna attempt to cast
Even-
probably Karn and then get wrecked. We'll pop the star first. Do we cast a Liberated or cast a Created? Here we go. Let's find out.
Think he's going. Let's see. Yeah, he's going 4-drop Karn. I think we're gonna see the subtlety come out of the hand.
Is that enough mana to cast Karn? We floated 2. Yeah, that's not enough mana to cast Karn because we floated 2 and cracked one of them with Star, right? Oh, and we netted a mana.
Yep, you netted a mana with
Never
Star.
mind.
Yep, it should be good. It should be good. Now
Fire off
we're
the subtlety.
probably gonna
We're gonna
steal
vial.
the
What are we vialing in?
What do we see?
Trickster.
And he's letting the Karn resolve. And are we gonna see a bridge? No, we're gonna see a ring. And he's gonna
Now Chase is gonna be really upset with himself for not firing off
Yeah.
the subtlety.
I think you use that subtlety swing for lethal the next turn.
Yeah, let's see if Chase knows to swing into Karn or not, because protection only gives it to the player, not their planeswalkers.
Now let's see. Also, couldn't he have sacked one of the fish to counter the ring?
Yeah, he could have.
Sylvelon's good here. Now let's see what Chase does. He should still be swinging into Karn.
Chase does not know that the ring gives protection to just the player and not Karn. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's not great that he's punting, but you know, this is from lack of reps, and he hasn't punted all the way yet. Han could still get hit with subtlety here. It does give Han some outs, right? He's got bridge, and whatnot, but I mean, we'll see. This is unfortunate. That was definitely his game. He either just subtletied Karn there or sacked the fish to counter the ring.
Yeah, we must remember, this is the business owner right here. He, as much as he would like to, he doesn't get as many reps as he needs. But still, it's not like the game's over. Letting that Karn resolve is tough. Not swinging into the Karn is
Here's the thing, too, right? If he goes for bridge, he has a ton of cards in hand, which doesn't exactly stop Chase from swinging.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
Right?
It's not like he can dump all those
because he has to get bridge out of the sideboard, and then if he gets engineer explosives here, you can't exactly engineer because you don't have colored sources.
Yeah, he can only make green right now,
which kills Vile, Taichi Poller. I mean, you still got
more than 9.
You still got Hexcatcher and Master of the Pearl Titan as lords, and then two fish. Like that's still a ton of damage that you can't prevent. We're gonna draw a card. Does Han still have Oblivion Sun on his side?
There's a Wormcoil engine.
Wormcoil is definitely gonna get fired off for that subtlety. The question is, does Han have enough mana to cast Wormcoil and downtick for Bridge or O-Stone?
Seems like he's only got 8.
Sure, Bridge and Ring are not a combo, but Bridge does allow him to draw into a few turns, and Han is also playing Haywire Might, which he just showed us game 2 to exile the ring. So if he gets Bridge, it's preventing him from at least dying, or attempting to prevent dying. I think O-Stone is the safer play here. He is getting Engineered Explosives. How's he making colored mana? Oh, the star. He's going to do it with the Chromatic Star. The Chromatic Star is going to... Yeah, E for 2 is pretty brutal. Yikes. Did I... Okay, so we did see the spear sack. So it is E for 2.
There's 2 more stars. 2 more stars against Starboy Chase.
Yeah, this is pretty rough for Chase. He's gonna be pretty upset with himself when he realizes he had game.
And let's see. He's gonna pop it. Not all of it. You get the Tide Shaper. And the Tide Shaper is still alive.
Yeah, Steven,
Can you let Chase know that the Tide Shaper is still alive?
Yeah, it's the Tide Shaper. It's a 1-drop.
There we go. It is back and ready for action. Now let's see.
Finally, Karn is off the board, but it's a day late. Unless Han doesn't have a follow-up with...
I think he's got an Ulamog in hand, but I don't think he has the mana for it.
Oh, he's definitely got mana for it. He's got 2 spheres.
Oh, he does.
So we have Tron plus Beseiju. Yeah, no, we're never mind. We're 1 short.
I think he's got 9.
No, we're 1 short. We have to Ancient Stirrings and hope we hit.
No land in sight.
Yeah, so we have to Ancient Stirrings here if he wants to attempt to cast Ulamog.
I think he's got Trickster in hand, though.
Doesn't stop the cast trigger.
No, correct. I'm talking about Worm Coil, though.
Oh, correct.
Because he is Worm Coil in
Correct.
hand. And he still has a Trickster in hand.
Correct. Does it end the game, though?
No. He'll be swinging in for 4. But if he has Trickster Lord, that's game.
And land. Trickster Lord land.
He's got the vial.
The vial, you're right.
If he's got Trickster Lord, he's got a Subtlety in hand, which still is good.
Yeah, we're going to be subtleting the Wormcoil, I think. Okay, so Han's going to dig. He wants the Ulamog.
Yeah, he wants that Tron piece.
I don't think it's still enough.
Gets a tower.
Yeah, so it's still 8 mana.
Still short.
Oh, it's not 8 mana.
It's not.
Oh, because of the float.
You're right. He's floating.
Ouch.
Yeah, that hurts.
Okay, so our only out here is to activate Trickster, tap down the Ulamog, draw another Lord that's a 2-drop, and Violet in. Or he's going to cast Subtlety.
And he's going to put Ulamog right back on top to get that cast trigger again.
Our boy Chase in shambles.
There's a Hex Catcher. He's going to be swinging in for... Oh, it's not Immutable. It's...
Manamo and Cavern of Souls.
Yeah. It's going to be swinging in for 2 damage. 2. Han takes 2. Han takes 1. Puts him to 4.
It should be 2. Yeah, it should be 2.
Yeah.
The Hex Catcher is Lord.
Is Ulamog any permanent? Or is it
It's
just
any
permanent to your
permanent.
opponent's control? Okay, so he'll probably hit the ring as
No,
well.
no, no. I think the cast trigger is opponents. Let me look it up.
Okay, well, Han's on 2-turn clock then. If he casts the Ulamog.
Let's find out. No, it just says 2 target permanents. You can't exile the ring.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have the mana for it anymore.
So if Han plays this Wormcoil, what are we moving stuff around
Yeah,
for?
there's a lot of untapping going on. Yeah, why is he untapping?
So he did Stirrings, right? I think he's just trying to decide how he wants to tap his mana. Because he cast Stirrings.
Let's see.
So we need to top deck exactly Trickster here. Oh, he does his ring. He did pay attention. Exactly Trickster here. So we top deck Trickster. We go to Han's turn. We let him swing with the Ulamog. We wait if he plays Wormcoil, and we flash in Trickster.
Yeah.
Tap down the Wormcoil, and then we swing for 3, and maybe more if we top deck a Lord.
Trickster still looks
It's about
good.
the only out I can think of. You're going to have to eat that 10 damage and those cards.
There's a Haywire Might.
Yeah, that Haywire Might is game. Does he have another land, though?
Having another body out is kind of tough.
Did he have a mana floating from the... He did. That's unfortunate. Our boy punted.
Now let's see. He's gonna draw another card. What is it? It's a Vial.
We still love you, Chase. We still love you.
Now let's see how Han decides to close his game out.
Yeah, I think he's just going to Haywire Mind the Vial.
Yeah.
Just to be at 6. Chase does have chump blockers, though. Yep. Now he goes up to... Why do you go to 3? What just happened? Was the life discrepancy at 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now he's at 5. You never know, man. Han swings with Ulamog. Lord puts him to 0. Oh, never mind.
Ugin's
Looking
real bad.
Real bad. Top deck city.
Take the damage first. Drink. You know that Ulamog exile never feels good.
No.
That's a chunk. And there's the Wormcoil. That's pretty brutal.
10 damage is always but cheeks, but exiling most of your library is not fun either.
That's an Otawara. It's looking like a scoop.
Yeah, not looking good. GG's.
GG, guys.
Looks like Han's going into round 3 2-0. Chase is going to be 1-1. Tron is still looking pretty good so far in today's standings. The ring being a card is
It's just bonkers.
real good.
It's bonkers.
It's real good.
But you know that'll do it for round 2, guys. We'll hit you back in round 3. Thanks.